Ikosho Bible na repede ware na. Is it right the baby son what are you bringing on board? Then na ware no be one order.
Most of the time, I'm one of your more financial boy. Because maybe I pay or bar or you more bank.
But did you know one more? Let's say be a command say be worry. Maybe I can also do a can bad.
You won't maybe so ma ebia one co school on your own senior juma on your own year juma today nothing.
Ain't you know? On no room one. And that is why when you introduce a woman, say, Ofinfa. Family being a film.
Or bet she and the pause no. Or she on Chinese say. The Tangana we yam or say, G.
Facebook, TikTok. Even who buy banana took a crack. This and what I because I'm bringing yash.
Abba Gloria Atenase. On in a palm for what I proper went for to sell. Rebreo,
Enuanom adofo ebusuafo yemo bibia akwa ba enwubreba abrabo efutisem. Aha, Abba Gloria metinase dem na chede sem wo ho adesua wo ho afotu papa ene enwubre so ye de bre. Aha, 2025 yesim nya na chede eyadom na asonyedo na yenya yenya kwan ewemu asomdwum. Ti se yame adom yeremu ama yensu anyama papa na 2025 enkoye man. Tabrabo efutisem yemo akwa babio. Okay, enwubre aseme ho yinde. No da dey pede yesuan dey. These days no. Be hu ana nkofo be ayete dey nkofo a wo pede wo war another boyfriend girlfriend or an fiancé for wo pede wo war. E bi obedate ya aka dey obe war no na beyin na bi say oban dey what are you bringing on board? Since any time say wo ho. Okohia be obesia bi no pede on ni date another pede war na. We be say oban dey what are you bringing on board? Why do be sell buying there? What are you bringing on board? I worry before I be worry no there will be a day board. It kwa worry no more. And now that there is more to it. Into any discussion ewo. Ya na boafo ewa ha Auntie Vanessa wa ha obeboaye. And na Daddy Alfred onusu wa ha obeboaye. Na anaju yesua bibia for the say be worry a. Ewo right there. Is it good the baby so buy na be worry there? What is she bringing on board? Any new discussion at elbow. Inti do be anya time and abota na unti afotupa. Daddy akwaba.
Yeah.
Afisha fast.
I think over to
Okay, mommy akwaba.
Yeah no.
Aha, mama afisha father do. Yami sha mu ina ma de bia yeto nsafre mu amutumba. Okay, it is already aseme oyin. Yes, is a better no be omo ija dating na mpede omu date ware no. Better na yes omu relationship na I end omu ija we break it up. Na aba sema also beyin bi say na what are you bringing on board? On no hwe na oba no enya bi papa bia na odi bre na abrabo muti. Na wa quit relationship na wo mu no. Nti sisi an yepede ye bisa de. Ana ikosho Bible na repede ware na. Is it right the baby son what are you bringing on board? Then now ware no be one order ba.
It's not out of place because it is actually stipulated in the Word of God that women are helpers. And so, definitely, say nipa no amfa amwa ewosikafemwa. It will definitely be on a different way. And so, it depends on the person who is asking the question and the kind of helper now bois or no expecting. But like this, most of the time, one of your more financial bois because maybe I pay or bar or you more bank. I mean, or ABR. I mean, or ABB the income ever. And so it is not out of place, but there more in totality, you know. And yeah, no per se no see a share near the quarry. And yes, I will fail. And I never say income and income aspect na wo hwe say ode oban de beba ejuma bitimi asent ejuma ne say it means that the love is gone. And so we should be very careful the way youth know bano the way they look at marriage. There is more to it than they are seeing.
Okay. Mommy.
Somebody can say, awale die na nka ye bewale a na nka nyese bia e beka say ye hwese nyame be kukuru ansa na ansa na oba beka so bebo be ma no e wo odo a ene sunko wo muntin na be oba beka say bia wo yi bibi to the support be ma ti sa dia edi
e be di okay nti sisi ano is it because of ebia nipa ni niskanti na obisa mami nkoda is it because of the nipa no niskanti na obisa de then on order by wine man ada nipa no was kakra to me bisa
oh sometimes nipa no was car
was kakra
because
to me bisa
bia na baby oye ejuma dey 1,005 Ghana cedis and then economy e wo mi as dey 1,005 Ghana cedis nyaza wo go wari obi a on to me more financially then you should know that you are heading to trouble.
Okay. Remember Vanessa, do you think they be because of ska and Agnieszka?
Agnieszka because sisi ankasa mema isi a omo aban ebinom omo hye wan ko obi dinke bi se adwuma be na woyi ehe na wote obi se environment be wote ne so be bo na ansa na omo move but kasa awale a mini be me bi wo no owiska no so on wo ba no se owiska no owiska so be yiska no so oba hye na pause no o hye na on chane se na tanga na we ya mo say ji
eno dey twemu
what hye na on chane se tanga na we ya mo say ji but the day na wo oba no wo obi dia wo open ma no be ma no say wo obi but so no side no onya dia na oba hye the pocket no on chane se na wa kan ska no so aka say you 20 Ghana e dey so is can be on the pause no also we enya me bi o obi every day dia e obi dia into a bad man like this na so one na tia wo so oba no mind no enya free mind say wo beka say bia wo bua no support bibi
okay mama person be say me be mo kakra
okay
you know the reason why I make say they look even in Manokra look at even that you know I've started preaching on the social media Facebook
okay
and a lot of people are requesting for friendship and I have a majority of them are women and some of the ladies one of the lady question will be sir I mean they say what do I do for a living
okay
and then so I respond to them and say why this early question because it's too early for you for even say even if I want to have any relationship for you to ask you as a matured person like me the first question that will be me you are out of my way and you know I feel say money plays major role in we cannot never rule it out we can never rule it out it's a helping hand we all give and therefore everybody financially would want to have some sort of backing there and because school fees feeding fee I mean if you be didi anopa akola no a whole lot of things that come together and me is kind of the and you know money plays major role when it comes to marriage and it's also bit my marriage and you know and be focus and kasa about then they are supporting and it ends up to be money
okay sisi ano obisa obande then or dey ba on board na or dey ba why no before baby said them na nyama be na we hu nipa ni hu asa na baby said them nyama
okay so for instance like I said initially in fact when God created Adam oye ni fe panie na or the bo ba no or sorry no I said this is bone of my bone you need to be able to identify your bone and so the whole issue about marriage is about identifying your partner in fact the Bible used some of the translations say suitable wife it means a comparable wife some of us the other time I was saying that I have a pastor that really prayed to God. And I wife, man. Some of us, we didn't go into that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you cannot work things out. Even with the unfin panel cry, you still need to work things out. Sure. And marriage should go further and more than what we are looking at. And yes, Anna, a Koban is a one way like initially a can, a Koban is a on the way, the marriage will end. That is why there are a lot of divorces. That is why there are a lot of fights in marriage. Over now was the other time we initiate a program, I say some of the Muslim marriage, I say Mbano, I say Memano, I say one of them was also complaining man. I say, your wife are born as soon as I'm as soon as
hey, Obano Bema.
No, Bema. Abo Bana soon as as soon as
oh wow.
You see, I know, or you're impaired.
Wow.
And so these are some of the things. And when you are going into marriage, you look further than that. So in the Emma Ejumano, any Sikano, you see, some of the women, I'm telling you, almost what it takes to bring money home. They just need somebody to guide them. So we want to create scano on him the other way. And I will go on so this kind of man, I want guide now, will be failing. So let's rather unearth the women, their potential. That would rather help us to know their area of interest and where they can perform better. So they can be our helper. Financially. But in a spiritual way. But who is a financial no or born in a spiritual way, you get growth in your work and there will be money. And so we should look at all other things. So if we are trying to come together, we need to really look at other things and consider the financial aspect, the last thing, because marriage is for long life, and therefore we need to get it well.
Okay, thank you. Ebiana today, I mean, sure the many fupe and I will be some by there. What are you bringing on board? The day I did by one. You should then buy subisa, because so buy a new koshia benny bino, so baby Sunday. Na benny cry me call and then no they bring me. Then no more buy so bisa there being then no because in them mean for now one. It is a beyond when you be no recover by now. So baby I almost a bedroom benya me call and will miss can will me be then or they bring me one then ever more buy so I join them.
Okay, you can meet me at was say Bible so baby feeling and chain movie shema by here on hamba. Ena sisi ankasa no ye emma bebre beka say half no sisi ano ye mpe debi ebeye yi so
mpe debi
yeah because obabi wo nso a opebema no sochin dada opebema no sochin dada sit when you skada dada ansa na okwakoto mu but I think so sometimes no so when you bema no na so wankasa wonen bema no bra eye Sinis must or can we do also bear the ebe afa. But now no one got to say, O quite is coming the host or such touching no woody. Oh, something bit me at it was I did your paper bear crap who say. Or maybe it was because of so bad is can want to the open of bed or the bay. But sometimes I want in a break. Let's say you are some more sweat, I mean, I'm supposed to slam ye. And also when him the way I'm about to one number at the fires and also uncle Manasa. Nasa now no na se bia we de kaka we so de kakra trust gidie se gidie wo emomumu ntementi ase wo muntemu a obi mfa na ne bibi ade enfinse ne nyanko because onim say gidie no wo yentem we mfa bibi yentem no we so fa bibi bibi e hope unye bibi o ma we so nye bibi o ma we nya adenta me bibi sie o besa ankoba no sana se gidie ni wono mo sa na mo se ba kwa kwase ba so anyansani ene sa de bibi media no ba me yedi ene dem so me hu yansa so me fa ba me yedi nti so nso nya de o se odebesi besa gidie ni wo hono mo a na se bia akoba no sana se e be ware media kaka so de kaka kanya bad na se bia o se na esna Se dwama bi na mutimu a mo be fi se dwama no mu ye de mo be etuma konkro bibi aso nyame ni bibi o be etumi aso nyame ni nti wo de kakra o menye bibi e be hye Awurade enum nyam nti so pass kakra na sa na pese odobo ene nyama ba ko mieni ene me so fa part say na me so fa papa say me grow up they are supporting marriage so na nyame enum nyam betumi ade abem so me.
And in addition, because we can't be kakra found. You know, people based on their past experiences and I'm going to take a decision.
Yeah, sure.
We want my real relationship with her, and as our mother. And the woman gave her all to the man. The man gave her all to the woman. And Kusiaga, and you know, we see a young and so she said, we prim na koma. And we nya be my papa crown, so no, who's a bema way better. Not all the old ya no, a treaty, the new person,
innocent person,
exactly. And it makes also the marriage. And you see, as a wound, there won't even. It takes time to heal. And you know, whoever that is listening, if you are in such situation, just have patience for the woman. With time, it will heal. And some of these things, a man and woman, they even go through some form of therapy. Go and see Unkrofo Nyomo Kasama. With time, you know, then things will be subsiding gradually. But say, one day, would they solve that problem now? It will not work. Then it means that you don't want to have peace in your home. So that is kakra means me dey can.
Okay.
Yes, sister can.
Okay, that's it. Sisi anu say let's assume that sisi anu menyufo no obisa de na de ba wai oba me kofa ne kra na so obeboa me obedi. Ye won ba bi so mo e bia wan ko school. Ono onsunye adwuma. Ono onye adwuma say de nothing. Inti da me nimpa no doesn't mean they only do one.
Oh no. Now Bobo be different. And so no so necessary so Bema or Bema be in fact on person why be ejuma.
Be ejuma, yeah, sure.
We have men like that. But over me side they are any Oh, and so that is me.
Okay.
And so to me be and I was supported.
At least.
E do baby na me first say if ye I mean, we have establishment. There is money at home. I mean, I wouldn't bother you to go and work when there is money. Just recently, I was telling a colleague of mine, saying, "Call me university, this year." And so it's going to be a relief. And I just many kakra to me bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, and so as time goes on now, enyama subside now financially, no, enyama correcting the hono. You go say Sally, mommy, more no and you're free. And then you won't say in your pension time, you know, you will be enjoying. And so I believe that is the way we should go.
We should go. Okay. Mommy, say be a benin near question or by a be a one co school on your own senior juma on your own yes year. Befano.
For me, Mommy, dear, I'm saying my family because. And you be na otumi ku school. Yes, so be in marketing ton handle. Yes, so be in house help. Yes, so be in cleaner. Yes, so be in ejuma, be ejuma. Say na yepa enye yi. Nti nyama nkonko hwe bia ne part on ma obi ebedi mu because ye men say na yepa obi respect obi nka yes masa enfa nchi obi. Enu nti na nyama hwe na odi bibia odi mu obi ano. Nka we shi oba na so oba na nko school a. Me ni be do oba na nko school but ono boy man na odi oba na ko school. School see have added 2 years on urban course and then urban or drive but for ben urban to menka I think so you no akasa entity dey ama be ma no me sua ade bi sisi ameka say me ntu me ba for say onkom me husband me tama me ne yeti owiska ye owiska pam oyen no ne papa Owiska, but this go free. In take what was happening, or snam in ejuma bia. But I think to say, some your housewife. But before what a man, a two baby and yama, oh, yano. Papa, nay easy. Oh, yana yama course, but what's a woo way, chin some baby. And I was a move fee. that's how if you me if you from me ba me next house me if me ba 25 back me pain it's not easy no oba ma for first baby 1 week my husband e film na first baby no kuta kura no kuta me nse me he na me ni atototo me ne ko afa na me ba start new abrabo no but time no say bia so okay say me tie ye na say me ndi love e chi na me say me kunya ma de nyina nti obeka na say me tie na say me je time ye dress me de adwan to chi baby na say me focus baby anka nya nne but after then me mu say ba sure nyama nti every day me to me man for say okohye be ma na say school fie podin na so ka cho say tine fie out of ka nya he I mean, come here, me dem so me nya me dey. Because I love you, no tun ko any that. If you that mu ni wo, na me so me ni wa, dey na obey. E be problem da me no mi no. But that time now, don't know why am dey me come make na say me tie nti. Me so dey ka be na wunjo me ndem. But ende, me say na so wo hen for oni wo. Nti e sana nsi na e dey brain na ba to me nyakasa me so. Because that time enjoyment na nyame na me hu say me hu na sa give. Nti as at now, sometimes I want na makai me chi. Between sana se me control mo dem se nya me nkonko minim na enka bia I don't know there but them se nya me nkonko minim and one na go so ekura me up to this time ya me na mo enti so oba te san kura na se be ma te se kwa na ye djuma ye bibi e be po support se be me ifie so eni jaba because be me bia se skill ni fie a eni je ni fie but se skill fie mo anka se mo ni je but be me oni skill fie a ade nya bufu gita na go efu because of skill ni fie obation kola no school fees water bill we ba no be ma nyam nti say e be ne so skill ni fie a wo so oba no we ni nje I love you so but you say
e ma me ma no wuntem
I don't yeah that's it pressure no yeah pressure because oba na bia come be come say bia no make us e head opa week tintini bi na se wa hye na se bia wo so wunya bi na ku ko hye wadanfo ko hye mu di nkomo bia wo but wu ku no wunya na side ntanim sana se nyame ambe mu a na wa so wu fa be ma nechi because the open no be ma ne nche wunya but so so oba no so ye wadwuma na se be ma ne so ye wadwuma every day bi ani je wo fi insane me to mo to come and back
na wakai me baby you know me mama and papa mo worry you know my father had money and so like she said me mama o mana nye djuma along the way my father lost his job and I tell you it was terrible. I'm just picturing those days. Me kaisa our day Michelle Chalwotiko our day. And it is not a palatable thing. The men should allow the women to do something. It's very important because nobody knows who will go first. God has never revealed that to anybody. And especially Sebe manager Obanoa, sometimes depending on the family the man is coming from. So 1 year on beje japadini you know if you oba ni nsem ni nkwala ni nsem na the hassle the woman will go through you have no idea. I have to be selling plantain. Me pon as young and I was very a small boy. Me call never base. Me pon school me come market. I call town board here. Town board here we are. The number be mommy na ma be aduane wo fie. Me and me change because my junior brothers they were my siblings were very young. Maybe you know me they will sleep. I remember one time when we had an examination. Obi 100 the less if you 90 near there. Me the better more class and no am the name because I don't have time to learn. Weekends me see nyama. And I had 50% and my colleagues were asking me, Alfred, why? What is going on? They don't understand. I was just quiet. You see? And so when it happens like that, the effect on the children, the effect on the wife is very heavy and grievous. And so whoever is listening and watching, which will allow the women to work and the men to they should be flexible to help their wives. Be a container be if you need be a cosmetic shop and as a whatever. I mean, I know a certain woman who is a medical doctor, a surgeon, who went to marry, and I don't want to use that word, who went to marry a driver. she has been able to bring the driver up. Now the driver is holding his masters.
Wow.
We're rising it up to the standard okay. And you know, these are things that are happening that people offsite, people are not aware. And so let us be very careful with the decisions we take. And let us, when we are going in for people, the intentions we have, it should be clear. I know, say, Obekono, at your level now, oh, my man, I need to know about a driver. But the woman knew what she wanted. When him say, "Women are sumji," or what my cover is skinny, or more sumji. We are going. I will be a tinting cocoa because that is what you want. Oh, more sumji. And so we need to be very careful.
Okay. Abrabo efutisem, I hope that you enjoy the discussion. We are into nice ideas, another experience in our ocean. As a woman, it's not good to record in your no matter what. We can at least do something. You're born kind there. Chatter of the glory school. School papa power fienya worship from a kama. What to suffer the 2025 for Barbara. Now one share the fine man. Now want to know one yam soon. Nimzi papa. Now only number show a one yam. Okay, the master na born kind there. Ajizi studios. Any so events be a pede be an or home a friend one baby chama kama. One price, so it's very affordable. The master na recommend the knowledge makeover. Any so a demand the event be a pede be an a friend knowledge or baby says who kama no the amount. Honestly, the price is very affordable. It's friend knowledge na for Ajizi studios. Now we say now watch our videos, watch our pictures. Now we program we need come. Okay, that is it. Okay, mommy by the side. Sisi ano with experience ya mo share. Today ebia beni ekohia oba ebia ono onye adwuma wanko school on tonade you on bible them na what like today no matter what in ebi on yehwe on ko school on sua de pam on sua tiye on ebia today nsu another nkofo de cup chips na de nkofo on yebi today no the okoba na ebia family members another friends na de bia won ho achi won such nimpa no like then or doye because I'm definitely be no expect to be super be worried in that situation no then or doye
oh me too no for say onu ankasa on create bibi man onu ankasa no cause see ya no and the schools aba paying to me ko when you do then crap when you be obechiro wade in say ani mpa no say be wan so wo show abla bona say be enye yi from wa obetumi aba say opportunity betumi e bia mo nti no ankasa nye obi no bebo wan sa so try so wan so bebo ho ebebo wan ankasa so wo daachi anase bibi wan so betumi create bibi area mo ankasa so abrabo because ene be me no so osio no simple na wo na mo kra mpo na mo so wo ye unye serious na bi se be me no mo bibi ketewa na so begin ketewa na odema no ntumi ensom nya bi wo so wo nye serious ketewa na mo ankasa so obehye no nti nyankasa mma no nyansa so yam boye ho even kwa marriage fie kwa bo isige de kwa marriage tumi asusu wetumi asusu de gugu nkete mi wapopo no so betumi agba ye bibi that de be fejem na de na ba ne sai wan so nim kwa sa chobo na na wo de bia ye bibi ya betumi agba no so nyan so betumi de support no nti ma yan try ye mo ye ho mode na nyansa so ye ni akomanta yi
okay nti that de kan ya no ye won Bible so today on worry no or very hard working eba ni needs and adwuma de pam na de opam hairdressing oye ebia nyomo de kwachima na de ni na oye but the moment because of ebia de oye ni ti benyi ni hwe no de worry no but the moment obe wura worry no mu no sorry the minyama ni na afide on pedo obe bi ti de obeton ade de bi adwuma na okosuan no hairdressing another tailor no another school no po no okoy na or the behavior na afedi on no matter the situation or woman there how benini be tried or be setting up in bia still I know people like that no matter what even family members cry if they want to help cry still only ready do behavior but they expect money in that situation they know there it me ye boa or buy no
this is a very dicey situation in fact I don't know why it should be like that. And some of these things, some of them sometimes they are spiritual attack on the marriage. And so sometimes too, whilst we are dealing physically, we also work on the spiritual aspect. You realize that over your physical aspect and I could see here. And then I say what the spiritual need be. I'm talking about empire. So you help to release and pass a attacker so that entanglement will be released for the woman will be free and then be thinking straightforward. In fact, the difference being so no say any spiritual na say sa na oba no obeso oye dia na say abro ompebe ma no God, there is nobody over go worry will be odo no not be deliberately so be punishing nipa no punishment no man nipa no and a ban is also you are forcing the man to take an action that he is not intended to take. And no sir no na bibi kusia then you should be blamed. Wo no wa cause. Because if family members have come in wa friend wa for no wa be kasa. Na there no any spiritual na physical wa sheda na wo yes ada. Some of the things to you realize that our really wo no more. You said that's money pano.
Okay.
Just to disturb you.
Wow.
To distort your entire life. To make you useless. And that is why it is always good to pray to God to, seek for your own. In fact, like the Bible is saying. And so that we don't get into some of these problems. Apart from that, and this idea, not nipa no washa da no ye dia. And then oba no need to look at it again. Say bia obi na ye the relation bisa. And okay, me now, me nisu me de be yo. And that kind of thing. And most of the time when we are going into the marriage, some of our parents they see far, they talk. You just listen. And see the wisdom coming from your parents, either your mother or your father. There are certain families with experience that your mother and father has. History or name concerning that family. And no, and that is why when you introduce a woman, say, Ofinfa. Family being a Ofim. And so they ask questions.
Yeah.
One precede the other, just to know. Where does it onimwa? So it is not for anything, but just to protect you, the child. But sometimes overlap, and so we overlook. You go remwa and go see, then the marriage gets end somewhere, and so we need to be very careful.
Very careful. Okay, mommy, miss away so. Our friend then. I menyifo no we am me koda de oba mama mi sa wo di menyifo no aya wo pede wo yem how do they want their wife to be like aya wo pede wo hu won yem then like then wo pede wo yem wo ye
me say be me bia pia ahonwo yeah since so hu ne yenko na yere no yere maka no so na yere no da ma na ote na mmemma nso wo si mo di nkomo pa yeah wo si mo shi mo di nkomo we di we baba we so dem ti se bia mo di nkomo na se bia o hwe komo ye ko ye me ye di akoso mansa ta wo be di opo ya mba akotoro so nkochoro ane de bia ti bo yela nti oni no nya be fia pa ne de fa ne de ye wo so asem ye ketu bi kwapo no be nti be me bia person na yero obe nice okwa pa miri no okwa ye o ehun sese odogwa no ho miri di chale obi fi challenge bibia ono ni but on come I want to the marry no so ni o mehu na wuti mi nya odon but okwa outside obo abodun outside but so be fi no so memory proud wo mu but so be for be say na wo ye no we ngu pa de wo ne papa but so na marry no wo kunu so o mo wudi wa bonti o message amen no na me dey wo fi but Old Testament and the New Testament were one thing. The name.
Okay. Daddy.
So some men. The other time, Madam for Oba Kajame say, "Oh no, say Niku Nini Pese ABB na say, there is no way." Obeba Ninching. It's one. Some women they don't care. If you jumaba, Obeda Hosa was what bread. Bema na addiction the bubufu. And the man will not say why. Sometimes we be sabeka. Sometimes we be onka. You should know the person you are moving with, and then do exactly what the person wants. Both sides. And so, like our mommy said, I mean, it is good to dress nice. Look, say what dressing nice. They said the word when you are dressing nice. I mean, I feel proud to talk. Say, hey, my wife knew. And men no don't wanna. They want to see their wives. So my wife ne daka we mu. Oh, we score better amount. No cry one nanti. They just want you to just be driving. You who say, oh, Mr. Usu's wife never come. And so some of the men are like that. Bema mi so no more. Look, and found it obey. You not appease him or her. And so I think that both sides in your PDF. Let's study each other, know what we want, and then just satisfy ourselves. So if maybe at a point in time, na say bia bibintino untimi nya de nipa nepa, let the person understand. Communication is very important. In marriage, communication very, very important. Whenever there is a break in communication, there is trouble.
Okay, Timami. This year, them will be saying, what are you bringing on board? I call social media, Facebook, TikTok. Even who are baby nani to kakraka. If you say, what are you bringing? Because I'm bringing yash. Only now, so order. Do people memano why because of them nyamano? And now ope. Ebi more like now only now what you do now what you choose or buy another so there is more to it.
KBBS is so nyashi ya okay. Ebi an nyame ambona nyashi ni nwa. Obeko weni. Ebi because oba onwe ya no nufu osisi no. Na onya wa pani for us jeme how. Because jeme how because nufu na egu adruga. The sadruga no unya na sabi. E wonde mo sine ni ma santa o twentwum. E wonde mo se no tu no ologo olukufom. Nti ade bia na ehu na oye ofe no. De mo no ologo no enye de ma no nkogo se wiyi. Nti san nyash na se if the true love won nkoten dia. En so na je pedi bia na ade na gase no won ma dompe nti. So odo no ho no a se odo no ho no. But se bia se bia no no ngase okọ no odo nyash na odo koye. Ope oba no tun ya abode. Nese bia etuna abode no fo no obeje oba no wanse so kokko chese another one no no fusis do the no fusis so nyame ado so owo nese bia awo emu nsam bebre nese bia oba no kwa awo so bia se hwede ye obo ofa no nesin etutu anase bia de ne ekofa na se oba no tochime obeje ano so akobe because enye true love no do call but if the love is there won hwe sa anyoma no entina wo se de bia mesi de bia wo se ye bompa ye ni ebi se nyame nkonko odo because so odo wo mu a ade nya wie pay.
Okay,
to just add to what she said, in fact, obema bia obekọ akọ pe oba aware no based on features last. And last will not last. And that is the bottom line. And so we should be very careful going in for a woman because of features. The marriage will not last. Like she said, tomorrow when the hips are not there, it means you go for another person. When that person too, the hips goes down, you go for. And so we say now, it is not a good spirit. And so we need to be very careful.
Okay. So that my mean be last no break there benyi bia why serious or in the but papa bi woni we no anko for ba wonyas Is it true?
Well, entina yeah ka say obiane they wash or they worry. And so we are saying that don't look at those features.
Those features.
It is true. And remember that is what they love. Obi wo kra the wife share something short. Is there some jeans sneakers be about almost being up to here. I thought said those things maybe in ka over share with them now when you kunope. But now it is outside because we are learning wrongly. Our culture is not that. And so what are we doing to ourselves? And so coming to it, it is very important that we take note of some of these things. Other than that, we'll get, we'll lost. We'll get it wrong. And we'll be blaming ourselves. You see, it is better to learn in a good way than in a hard way. Because learning in a hard way, you can on the way you probably mean your stroke.
Okay.
When you learn it in a hard way, you bit mean your stroke. I drink way. A bit me more we trash we.
Okay.
So we need to be very careful.
Okay. In conclusion, is it good then me from Bisa in mind what are you bringing on board?
It is not bad, and it is not. It is good and bad.
Good and bad.
That's how I want to say. It is good and bad.
Okay.
And so, you know the person you are going to move with. I believe that. You should be able to know each other better than straightforward looking at what the person can bring on board. Like I said, bringing on board, what actually are you talking about? Is it financial aspect? Is it because remember anybody I say men age may be a or industrious woman. She doesn't want to do that. They want to marry a man that can be submissive. Just in the opposite way. Submissive to the wife. So some men go in for such men. And then at the end along the road, say Nipano na James then it becomes a problem. And so we should be careful what we think of when going into marriage. Let's look at God's way than our way.
Okay, that's super. Okay, Auntie Vanessa, we'll find out. Say.
The men to me, I catch and baby say, Mammy, and just come. Because it's an sky the too much. If we are since we the too much. Mammy, and maybe I see a corner near Debbie Bree. And no son, maybe be at a corner with a dear as she has seen. Na young queen.
Okay, a bravo if it is in fact this week, I call you Obian share link and more be now on TV, no for Bonipa. That's in Bessia, and me, I do my destiny, a bishop. Bye bye.
Abba Gloria Atenase on in a palm for what I proper went for to sell. Rebreo,